It started simple. One of those lazy Monday evenings where the house smells like baby lotion and leftover spaghetti. I was folding laundry next to my girlfriend, Mia, just vibing in that tired but content parent mode. Our 7-month-old son, Caleb, was finally asleep. For once, the house was calm. Out of nowhere, Mia goes, "Hey, my brother asked if we could watch Joey for a few hours on Sunday." I didn't think much at first. I asked, "This Sunday?" She nodded like it was nothing. "Yeah, they've got dinner reservations. Only for 4 hours." I pause mid. "Wait, Sunday as in Father's Day?" She shrugs, still folding a tiny onesie. "Yeah, but it's not a big deal. We'll both be here." And that right there, that one casual shrug, flipped the whole week upside down. See, I'd been waiting for this Father's Day for years. I'm 28, and this was my first one ever. I didn't grow up with my dad around. Never had those backyard barbecues, those handmade cards, none of it. I swore when I became a dad, I'd do it right. Diapers, midnight bottles, lullabies. The works. So yeah, I was looking forward to just being a dad for one day. No errands, no favors, no obligations. Just me, Mia, and our little man. I took a breath. Tried to sound calm. "Babe, I kinda just wanted the day for us. You know, like we did on your Mother's Day." That's when she froze. Folded the same onesie 3 times. Then said, almost whispering, "I already told him yes." I blinked. "You what?" He sounded stressed. "I thought you wouldn't mind. It's just a few hours." I stared at her, trying to keep the peace, but the words burned in my chest. "Maybe next time, run that by me." "Yeah, because I do mind." She let out this little scoff. "Oh my God, it's not that deep. We'll all be together. Joey will just be here too." And boom, somehow I became the selfish one. Here's the thing about her brother. Tyler, the guy's never liked me. He's one of those dudes who thinks every conversation is a competition. When Mia and I first started dating, he literally asked her if I had a real job or if I was just some gamer dude living off her couch. For the record, I've worked the same warehouse job at Costco for 4 years. I pay bills. I show up. But to Tyler, I'll always be the guy who's not good enough for my sister. He barely speaks to me unless I'm standing right there. Calls our baby her kid, even when I'm holding him. But whenever he needs something, a favor, a ride, free babysitting, suddenly I'm family again. So yeah, when Mia agreed to watch his son on my first Father's Day, it stung. Not because of Joey, the kid's great, but because it felt like no one saw me. Like I was just background noise in my own life. Sunday morning, it's quiet. Too quiet. I wake up expecting baby laughter through the monitor, or the smell of pancakes, or at least a happy Father's Day. Instead, I get silence, no movement beside me. No warmth, just an empty side of the bed. I grab my phone to 8:41 a.m., and for a second, I wonder if maybe they're planning a surprise. Something sweet, you know? A mug, a card, a photo with Caleb's handprints or something. Nope, I walk out to the kitchen, and Mia's there, feeding the baby in dead silence. Not angry silence, worse, polite silence. "Morning," I say hey. She says back, flat, cold. I wait, pretending to check the fridge just to see if she'll say it. Nothing, so I try to make it light. "Happy Father's Day to me, huh?" She doesn't even smile, just shrugs. "You made it pretty clear it's your day, bro." Bro, that word hits harder than I thought it would. I laugh, just to keep from snapping. Wow, okay. Love this vibe already. She finally looks up and says, "You wanted to be left alone with your son, right? I'm letting you have that." "That's not what I said," I tell her. "And you know it. You said you didn't want Joey here. That's the message you sent." I shake my head. "No, I said I didn't want to babysit on my first Father's Day. You twisted it into me hating your nephew." She picks up the baby, still won't meet my eyes, and just walks out of the room. The sound of her footsteps fading down the hallway feels heavier than it should. I sit on the couch, put on a little playlist, and start playing with Caleb. I'm trying to salvage the day, trying to breathe through the tension. Then the doorbell rings. Last year si tres alta. My already know. I open the door, and there's Tyler, standing there with his son Joey like he's dropping off a pizza. "Hey man," he says, fake grin. "You good to take him now?" Kara's waiting in the car. I blink. "No, actually, I'm not." He frowns. "You serious?" "Very." He scoffs. "Dude, it's a couple hours. Don't be a dick about it." I stare at him for a beat, then say, "Why don't you babysit my kid so I can go chill with your sister?" He laughs like I'm joking. "I'm not. You know what?" he says, picking up Joey. "You've always been weird. I don't know what she sees in you, man." I just close the door, calmly, not loud. Just final, 30 seconds later, Mia storms out of the bedroom. "Did you seriously turn them away?" "Yup." She starts pacing, socks sliding on the hardwood. "You're being so childish. My brother had plans." "Cool," I say. "I had plans too. Ones that didn't involve babysitting." She stops, jaw clenched. This is such a selfish hill to die on. "No," I tell her. "It's a boundary. You should try it sometime." Her eyes flash. She doesn't say another word, just walks off and slams the bathroom door. And I'm left there, sitting with my son, wondering how something so simple, one day of peace, turned into a full-blown war. Hours crawl by. The house feels different, too big, too empty, even though it's just us two. I make Caleb's bottle, change him, hum a dumb little song. The usual, except this time, there's this weird peace mixed with guilt. I wanted to be left alone with my kid, and I got it. Mia finally walks out of the bathroom around noon, purse in hand. Her eyes are tired, but her face is calm. That kind of calm that scares you more than yelling. She says, "I'm going to my mom's for the rest of the day." I look up. "Are you taking the baby?" She shakes her head. "No, it's your day, remember." And just like that, she leaves. Keys jingling, door slamming, gone. I stand there, holding Caleb, half expecting her to come back for the diaper bag or something. Nothing, so now it's just me and him. Father and son. My first Father's Day, just not the way I imagined. We head out to the park. I dress him in his little overalls, grab the stroller, and walk under the summer sun. Halfway there, I start talking to him like he's a full-grown man. "You know, buddy," I say, "sometimes people think family means doing whatever they want to you, and then they get mad when you say no." He giggles at a passing dog like I just told the best joke in the world at the park. Things are ... good. The wind's soft. The grass smells fresh, and for once, there's no tension. He sits on my lap, chewing on a teether shaped like a banana while I sip an iced coffee that tastes like sugar and poor life choices. I post a photo, me and the dude, today. Father Sunday, for the first time in days. I breathe. Then my phone buzzes. Mia, that second one hits. Grow up. I'm literally sitting in a park, covered in spit up, changing diapers, talking to my son about emotional boundaries. But yeah, sure, I'm immature. I don't respond. At least, not right away. Then comes text 3. Don't be surprised if I don't come home tonight. There it is. It's not about Joey. Not about Father's Day. It's about control. About her wanting me to cave, to keep the peace, to keep her brother happy. So I finally text back. You said it was my day. So I spent it being a dad to my son, not a stand-in for your brother. No reply, and honestly, that silence feels like freedom. By the time we get home, the sun's setting. The house smells like nothing, the kind of emptiness that only happens after a fight. I feed Caleb. Give him a bath, let him splash until the bathroom floor looks like a crime scene. Then we curl up on the couch and watch Cars 3. He falls asleep halfway through. I follow right after. It's peaceful, almost healing, until I hear the front door open. 7:30 p.m. Mia walks in holding a plastic Target bag and a container of sushi. She doesn't say a word. Hey, I start, soft. She sighs, sets the food down, and finally looks at me. You could have just said yes, she says. It was one afternoon. I nod slowly. And you could have asked before saying yes for both of us. She stares at the floor, chewing her lip. I just feel like you always make things harder than they need to be. That one lands harder than I expect. Maybe because it's half true. I am stubborn sometimes, but I also know what it's like to be walked over. So I ask quietly, do you actually think I'm a good dad? She looks up, surprised, then nods. Yeah, you're a great dad. Just ... Hard to deal with sometimes. I'd rather be hard to deal with, I tell her, than easy to ignore. She actually laughs, small, tired, but real. Fair. We end up sitting together on the couch, splitting the sushi. It's quiet, but not cold anymore. Just ... tired, no apology. No big movie moment. Just a people who fought too hard over something that was never about a 4-year-old in the first place. Later, I find out Tyler's dinner reservation was actually a proposal. He took his girlfriend, Kara, to some overpriced rooftop steakhouse, fancy, romantic, the whole deal. She said no, told him, you need to get your priorities straight before you become someone's husband. And suddenly, everything made sense. It wasn't me ruining the day. It was him and everyone around him using family as a weapon. Mia's been quiet ever since. Not cold, just ... reflective. We talk a little, careful now, like two people learning how to speak again. I don't know where we go from here. Maybe we figure it out, maybe we don't. But one thing's for sure, next year, for Father's Day, it's just gonna be me, Caleb, a tent, and a fishing rod. No phones. No favors, no guilt, just peace. The next morning feels deceptively normal. I'm half awake, stirring oatmeal with one hand and balancing Caleb on my hip like a clingy koala when Mia's phone starts blowing up on the counter. I glance over and see the family group chat lighting up like a Christmas tree. Her brother's name, Tyler, right at the top. I shouldn't read it, but it's impossible not to. It's a wall of text, paragraphs stacked on paragraphs. I catch phrases like it's not about you, Man, real men step up for family. Don't ever disrespect my kid again. I don't even need to finish to know I'm the villain in this week's family saga. Apparently, Mia told him everything, or at least her version of it, because he's going off like I punched his kid in the face, calling me controlling, childish, and my personal favorite, emotionally manipulative. I almost laugh. Emotionally manipulative. Bro, I asked for pancakes and a nap, not a power struggle. Mia walks in, brushing her hair like it's just another Monday. I say, so, we airing dirty laundry to your brother now? She doesn't flinch. I didn't say anything bad. I just told him you didn't want to help. I laugh, sharp. You make it sound like I refuse to pull a man out of a burning car. I said no to babysitting on Father's Day, not a war crime. She shrugs. He's just protective. Don't take it personal. That line, don't take it personal, hits harder than I expect, because that's exactly what her whole family does. They take things personally, but only when it suits them. Every time they cross a line, I'm supposed to not take it personal. Every time I speak up, suddenly I'm dramatic, difficult, or selfish. Something inside me snaps. I grab my phone, open the group chat, and before I can stop myself, I type, I'm not emotionally manipulative. I'm just not your free babysitter. And if you think being a dad means saying yes to everything, congrats, you're killing it by outsourcing parenthood to everyone else. I hit send. No edits, no hesitation. Within seconds, the notifications explode. Mia's phone buzzes so hard, it looks like it's about to vibrate off the counter. Her mum jumps in. There's a way to talk to family, you know. Then her cousin piles on. Bro, that's your nephew. Grow up. It's a full-blown digital dog pile. I can't even be mad. It's almost funny at this point. I just laugh, scoop up Caleb, and say, come on, little man, let's go get some air. We head outside. The sun's bright. The air smells like fresh-cut grass and freedom. For the first time in days, I actually feel light. No yelling, no guilt, no walking on eggshells. Just me and my kid, alive and breathing in the silence. But life's got jokes, because that afternoon, Mia's phone rings again. Her mum this time, voice sharp enough to cut glass. She walks out to the porch, takes the call, and when she comes back in, her face looks like someone hit pause on her emotions. She sits down and says quietly, "You're not gonna believe this." Turns out the reason Tyler wanted to go out on Father's Day wasn't just dinner. He was planning to propose to his girlfriend, Kara. Fancy rooftop steakhouse, private photographer, all of it. Except Kara said no. Not only no, she told him, you need to get your priorities straight before you become someone's husband. Apparently, she was pissed he dumped their kid on us without even asking her. She only found out the plan after he left with the ring in his pocket. So while we were fighting over family duty, the guy who started it all was out there getting rejected for being exactly what I refused to be, spineless. Mia's quiet for a long time after that. Doesn't look at me, doesn't apologize either. Just processes. And honestly, I get it. It's not about babysitting. Not about Father's Day. It's about how people take advantage of the ones who don't make noise. People like me, the chill guy, the easygoing one, the one who says yes even when he's exhausted. I finally said no, and it shook everything loose. Maybe it needed to. That night, we put Caleb to bed together. No fighting, no silence, just this fragile peace hovering between us. She says softly, maybe next year we'll do something just us. No drama? I nod. Camping trip. No phones, no favors. Just us and the kid. She smiles, small but real. And for the first time in a long time, it feels like maybe she actually gets it. Maybe saying no isn't selfish. Maybe it's just fair. The week after Father's Day felt like the quiet before a storm that never really leaves, just lingers. Everything looked normal. Dishes in the sink, baby toys scattered across the floor, work alarms still going off at 6:15, but under it, something had shifted. The air in the house wasn't heavy anymore. It was cautious. Like we were both waiting to see if this new silence meant peace, or just the eye of something bigger. Mia started acting. Softer, not apologetic. That's not her style, but real. Like she was finally seeing how deep that weekend had cut. One night, while folding laundry again, because apparently parenthood is just laundry forever, she said, "You know, my brother called me yesterday. He's still blaming you." I didn't even look up. "Of course he is." She hesitated, then said, "But I told him it wasn't your fault." That stopped me. I looked at her, half expecting sarcasm, but she just shrugged. Kara told him the same thing I did, that he needs to grow up. I didn't say anything. I just nodded and kept folding, but inside, something unclenched. We didn't talk about the texts, or the fight, or the door slam. Instead, we talked about Caleb, about bills, about whether we could afford a weekend trip next month. It wasn't perfect, but it was real again. And weirdly, I started feeling like maybe that whole disaster was necessary, like a reset then. A few nights later, Mia's phone buzzed again. It was her mum. She didn't answer, but the text preview flashed across the screen. "Tyler's a mess. He's saying you ruined everything." Mia sighed, set the phone face down, and said, "You know what's funny? He's mad at us for not saving his proposal, but he's the one who handed his responsibilities to someone else." I laughed, a small bitter laugh. Guess we're the villains in his love story. She looked at me and said quietly, "You were right to say no." That's when I realized she wasn't just defending me, she was learning something too. About boundaries. About saying no to family even when it feels like betrayal. About not apologizing for needing space the next weekend. We packed up the car, just me, her, and Caleb, and drove out to the lake. No phone notifications, no group chats, no drama. Just water, trees, and that weird sound babies make when they're happy and don't know why. I sat there, holding my son while the sun went down, and thought about everything that had happened. One choice, one small, stubborn no, had changed the whole shape of us. When we got home, Mia posted a photo from the trip. Just Caleb sitting on my lap by the water, his tiny hand gripping my thumb. The caption said, "Peace looks like this." No tags. No hash. No explanations. Just that later that night, she turned to me and said, "Next Father's Day, we're doing it your way. No phones, no favors, no family drama." I smiled, kissed her forehead, and whispered, "Deal." And for the first time in a long time, it didn't feel like a win or a loss. It just felt fair. Because yeah, maybe saying no shook everything up. But sometimes, that's the only way to make room for something better. Something quieter. Something that actually feels like home. A few weeks passed, and life slowly slipped back into rhythm. Work, diapers, midnight feedings, the usual chaos of new parenthood. But the air in our house felt different, lighter somehow, even when we were exhausted. It's funny how one argument, one boundary can change everything. Not in some dramatic movie ending way, just quietly, like the ground finally stopped shaking. Tyler stopped texting for a while. I heard through Mia's mum that Kara officially broke things off. She took their kid for a bit, said she needed space from his constant entitlement. I almost felt bad for him, almost, but honestly, it wasn't about revenge or karma. It was just balance, finally catching up. Mia and I didn't talk about it much. It was like the fight lived in a sealed box we both agreed not to open. But I could feel the shift. The next time her brother's name popped up on her phone, she didn't jump to answer. She looked at me first, asked, should I call him back? That one question, that small, simple gesture, said more than any apology could. One night, after putting Caleb to bed, we sat on the porch, watching the streetlights flicker. The air smelled like cut grass and rain. Mia leaned against my shoulder and said, "You know, I didn't realize how much I expected you to just handle things." I smiled. "Yeah, well, I didn't realize how much I let people do that." She laughed quietly, then said, "You're not easy, you know that." I nodded. "Neither are you." We both laughed, that tired, honest kind of laugh people share when they've been through the storm and finally found the shore. Sometimes silence says more than any speech. That night, the silence between us wasn't angry or awkward. It was peace. A few days later, I got a text from Tyler, short, blunt, uncharacteristically humble. "Heard you took Caleb camping. Cool, maybe I'll take Joey next time." I didn't reply, but I smiled. It wasn't forgiveness, not yet, but it was a start. Weeks turned into months. Caleb started crawling, then babbling, then doing that little baby giggle that makes the worst day disappear. And somehow, every time I saw him, I remembered that Father's Day, the chaos, the tension, the silence, and how all of it led here. It taught me something no book or therapist or inspirational quote could, that boundaries aren't walls. They're fences with gates. You just have to decide who gets to walk through them. So yeah, maybe that first Father's Day wasn't the picture-perfect moment I imagined. But it was real. Messy, loud, uncomfortable, and honest. And in a world full of fake smiles and forced peace, maybe real is better. Next year, I'm keeping my promise. No family drama, no guilt trips, no babysitting duty. Just me, my son, a tent by the lake, and the quiet sound of a world that can't reach us. And if anyone asks why I'm not around, I'll tell them the truth, because this time I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be,